Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you see by the title in today's video, we're ranking all the finishing badges in NBA 2K20 in tiers. We got the F, E, D, C, B, A, S. Now real quick, before we start this video, I gotta give a shout out to my Vikings, man. That was a big dub this weekend, and I'm geeked, bro. My mood is on top of the world right now. But anyway, we'll stick to the content. I know a lot of you new people aren't really here to hear all my excitement with that. But anyway, as you see, we got a color key for this. Yellow is strictly guards, pink is true slashers, red is bigs in general. The teal is post scores, and then the green is for everyone. So that means literally just pertains to any player just in general. Now, even though I put these in color codes, these bottom three badges are by far the most trash badges in NBA 2K20. You can make a different maybe argument for cross key score, but I don't want to focus too long on these. If you disagree with anything on this list, feel free to drop a comment. Tell me your maybe F tier badges and S tier badges if you want to keep the comment slim, and we'll just leave it at that. But anyway, to give a quick brief kind of explanation of how I feel Showtime and Fast Break Finisher work, I just feel like I've tried this badge, I've tried both these badges for a matter of fact, on all different corners of just testing. So I'm talking, we got me before I had Takeover Booster, then after I had Takeover Booster. I've tried this badge on both. I've tried it with flashy passes, I've tried with both of them enabled at once, only one enabled at one time. Both these badges literally do not work. It's simple as that. I will say I would normally allow for you guys to argue with me on that and argue a badges and make its case for its use, but no, I refuse. There is no way you can convince me that Showtime and Fast Break Finisher are anything other than F tier badges. They literally are non-functional and do not work. It's as simple as that. Now, cross key score, I'm not even gonna give this too much of a description. I just feel like the badge itself, and you guys can put me in my place and correct me if I'm wrong on this badge and kind of just explain why you may think it's actually useful, but from what I've seen, nobody uses this badge. Nobody will ever use this badge. It's literally just a waste of points, and it's just a very vague description of what it actually helps with as well. And I've never seen anybody truly use it to its best ability. Or if I ever lose to somebody and I look at their player card, if they're say a post scorer or a slasher, never see this badge popped on. I'm just going from a public perception of this badge because I've never tested it to the best ability, and I just feel like it's probably most likely trash. None of these badges on the top from this point on I am clueless on, and I have a very good opinion and a very good outlook on all of these, but this specifically, just nothing at all. But anyway, moving along. The reason I have pick and roller and putback boss so low, and we'll explain the teardropper eventually, is I feel like just in general, if you're taking contested layups off picks or just contested standing layups, driving layups, whatever it may be, contested layups are just not a good take in general. I feel like for the most part, for you to take contested layups, so to say, should be mostly hops and stuff like that. But I just feel like regardless, going off a screen and going into the paint, it's not going to be a good take. I don't think the boost that it gives you for making those shots is all that worth it either. And I'll just put it like this. I run thousands and thousands of games on my finisher, whether it's 2v2, 3v3, Team Pro-Am, own the #1 team on Xbox and Pro-Am for 3 months, have earned 1 million VC in the stage on a finisher. Do I use this badge at all? Absolutely not. It's not worth using. That's just my opinion. Again, if you guys have a different opinion, feel free to let me know. Putback boss, if you put it on bronze, you enable the ability to actually get putback dunks. It's never been something worth me putting my badge points on though, in my opinion. I just feel like this is mostly for flashiness, but I will say, and again, I just don't think taking contested layups is the best idea in the first place, even if it's off a putback rebound. And I just feel like the only time you should go back up with the shot is, I guess, if your guard sucks, first of all, because I mean at that point maybe you just have to take your best look you can. But just in general, it's maybe a good take in that situation, but I just feel like it's never going to be a good idea to go up with a rebound or go up with a layup off a rebound if somebody's near you. And that's just my opinion. But anyway, teardropper, I will say strictly for guards, it's decent in my opinion. Just at the fact that, say you have a 6'2" or 6'3" play sharp or something like that, and you have 10 finishing badges because you decided to have absolutely no defense, which may not be a good idea in the first place. But anyway, this may actually help you. The boost you get to it is at least sort of noticeable, but I don't know. It's not. Just in general, it belongs in the E tier. It's not a very good badge, but I can see the case made for it with a finesse scorer, so to say, but a true slasher, probably not. But anyway, moving along, we got the D tier. Lob City Finisher, Deep Hooks, and Pro Touch. Now, I put Deep Hooks and Pro Touch together. I feel like they both kind of pertain to the post. I understand Pro Touch sort of deals with slashers, but I want to explain why I feel like it doesn't. Now, this is just my opinion and my feedback. Like I said, I've played thousands of games on a slasher, and I do this every year for 4 years straight. I've had a slasher, athletic finisher, a finisher, something like that. But anyway, Pro Touch. I like the idea behind it, but I will say this. I feel like timing on layups is completely disabled. I feel like it's always late every single time, or it's very early, one of the two. I never see anything but those two. Now, if I get contacted a little bit, and that sort of gives me the ability to green where somebody's like on my hip or like makes contact, or I will say on AND1s I've seen Pro Touch maybe help a little bit where I can green layups. But for the most part, I don't use this badge at all anymore. I used to use it a little bit early on in the year just because I figured it may help a little bit as a true slasher who's trying to time his layups, but I just feel like it doesn't work like that. Now, the reason I have it in D tier, it goes well with the hook shots. I would say this is actually a more important badge to have if you take hooks rather than deep hooks, because in general, I feel like you don't really have to score from deep out in the post this year. It just doesn't make much sense to do that. And that's kind of my description on deep hooks as well. It's just, maybe it belongs in this E tier, but I didn't think any of these badges were better than this anyway. So moving along to Lob City Finisher. I feel like I use this badge a whole lot. Sometimes on Hall of Fame, sometimes on Bronze. I rarely ever don't use it at all. Now, the thing about it, I just feel like that the reason I use it so high is because it pertains to my game so much. For, say, a guard, like a point guard, I wouldn't recommend using this badge very much at all. Obviously, for finishers, I suppose, but you got to be more of a screen setter for this badge to be worth having on. And even at that, it's not the end of the world, in my opinion, if you don't have it and you're still trying to catch lobs. I feel like if your player is good at catching lobs and has good packages, you don't need this badge too high. But I've never really tested it with no badge on, just because I'm sort of afraid to like change that. But anyway, moving along. C tier, we got Drop Stepper, Consistent Finisher, and Acrobat. Now, should I have put Drop Stepper so low? Maybe not. Maybe this belongs in B tier, but I'm gonna explain why. Now, as you guys know from the video from yesterday, the pogo stick talk, and just how that's such a great badge. I feel like it eliminates anything to do with standing layups, standing dunks, anything like that. And I feel like Drop Stepper, it cancels that out as well. If you're just jumping, they can't put you in this drop step animation. Now, for those who don't know about that, then Drop Stepper is super OP. If you have this on a high level with post takeover, any takeover that deals with finishing, really, this is a really tough badge to deal with. But if you use pogo stick, I feel like that kind of knocks it down a little bit. That's why my ranking on it is a little bit lower. It doesn't threaten me personally all that much, but I can understand someone who doesn't know about the pogo stick jumps and stuff like that. I do understand that. Now, Consistent Finisher. I never take this off at least Bronze. I don't use it all that high anymore. Early on in the year, I used to use it on Hall of Fame, just keep it in this S tier, A tier, something like that. My opinions on it have changed a little bit, as my opinions on badges like Fancy Footwork have changed constantly through the year, and this is just my opinion. I feel like Consistent is a good badge to have on Bronze or Silver. Not really worth it to put any higher than that, but again, these are all just my personal experiences with this, and I understand maybe there's a disagreement with that, but I'm the only finisher I know, so personally all my opinions on this are kind of restricted to just me. Now, I use different builds, don't get me wrong. I use a 6'5" pure lock, I use a 6 foot slash sharp, I use my 6'9" finisher primarily. I see a whole lot of different people I play against, or even sometimes play with, use, you know, some finishing badges like this, but for the most part I feel like Consistent on Bronze. That's my best like voodoo analysis of it. I don't have a great description of it, but anyway, moving along. Acrobat. This pops up on every hop layup, every, you know, you go for the hop dunk obviously, but if you don't get the dunk and you end up canceling it out to the layup, this is the badge that will help you with that. Now, it still helps with the Euros, the spin dunks, stuff like that. It helps you make the layups on those. Now, are those moves worth doing for the most part? Not really, because the hop dunks are so OP. But anyway, long story short, the reason to use this badge is just as the bailout for if you don't get a dunk on the hop dunk, that this will help you make the shot. Simple as that. But anyway, moving along. B tier. We have Back Down Punisher, Giant Slayer, Fancy Footwork, and Relentless. Now, Giant Slayer, it depends who you are. The reason I put it in strictly guards, obviously that's, you know, the biggest height discrepancy is what this badge mostly pertains to. We'll just give a brief overview for all these four, and then I'll kind of give a better description on those that deserve it. Relentless obviously helps with, now this is the thing too, and maybe some of the people in the comments can help me kind of give the true description of Relentless Finisher. Now, somebody asked this a while ago, and I honestly didn't know how to respond to it. Do you guys think Relentless helps you with not having your stamina drained as much when you dunk, or helps you make the dunk if your stamina is drained? That's a great question. I don't know the answer to it. I feel like this pertains to both. You guys let me know what you think on that as well. But for the most part, great badge to have. I feel like you don't need to have it too high of a level, but I use it on Hall of Fame myself, just at the fact that I have 20 to 21 finishing badges to use. And for the most part, I don't really take it off Hall of Fame for the you know, mostly. Now, I use this, I'll take you guys back to earlier in the year. I used to use this on Hall of Fame and only Team Pro-Am. I would usually either not put it at all or only put it on bronze. Now, if you're not going to be doing like hop dunks and just contested dunks and stuff like that, this might not be the most important badge for you. But just in general, if you're catching lobs, if you're doing anything other than just setting screens, if you're catching lobs, doing hop dunks, trying to get contact dunks, I think this is a good badge to have. Fancy footwork. Let's give this the moment it deserves. All right, on my channel, this is by far the first, and I'm not going to say the only time, but the first time that I'm going to give this badge its true props. I feel like for what this badge does as far as helping you just stun your defender and get past your defender easier on the hop dunks, I got to take this moment and give it its props. Combined with long athlete, fancy footwork is tough to deal with. And I've seen it firsthand guarding other slashers as well. I've seen it firsthand with me on the 1v1 court or 2v2 just ISOing. It's a tough badge to deal with. And does it belong in the A tier or S tier? I don't believe so, just because of the two badges I put up there. But I feel like B tier is a good spot to put this badge. Now, back down Punisher. The reason I have this higher than Drop Stepper, this helps you kind of push around your matchup, get them into those areas where you can take the close post fades and post hooks if you're a post scorer. I feel like drop steps, just like I said, aren't really all that worth doing. Pro touch, I might be sleeping on a little bit, but as far as we're dealing with like the post scoring badges, deep hooks, not really as important. I feel like taking long range hooks isn't really the move, or long range fades isn't really the move. And like I said, back down Punisher just lets you kind of get to the spots you need or want to. Simple as that. Now, to talk about Giant Slayer one more time, I feel like I said, for the strictly guards, the shorter you are, the better this badge is. That's why it's tough to find the perfect spot to put this. If you're talking for a 6-foot point guard, it's probably in the A tier or S tier. If you're talking for a 6'9" finisher, it's probably in like the D tier. So it just depends who you're talking about. I just kind of met in the middle and put it at B, because just in general, I feel like it's not a game-breaking badge. It doesn't allow you to just posterize your opponent every single time or make some BS, you know, contact layup every single time. But it does what you would like for it to do. And 2K Labs, if you guys are not as educated on it, has tested this, and it is a very good badge as far as if for like short players. But anyway, moving along. A tier, we have Sleathery Finisher only. Now, I kind of exposed this badge as like a great badge early on in the year, and I would like to kind of take a little bit of credit in the community to like in the promoting of this badge. I feel like the lack of being blocked on dunks that happens is ridiculous with this, and this combined with contact finisher is just a never-ending, always lasting duo that I'm gonna have on any finisher build that I have, no matter what, and or my pure lock for that matter as well on gold. But the highest ability I can possibly put these two badges, and I'll just go ahead and just show the obvious one at the top, contact finisher. I'm never taking these two badges off Hall of Fame, and like I said, on my pure lock, never coming off of gold. That's just simple as that. These two combined together allow you to just contact dunk so much more, avoid getting blocked so much more, and just avoid like the contact layups so much more. It just helps you dunk, in my opinion, and that's really what it is. It's my opinion. This is what this list is. Now, like I said, if you disagreed, feel free to drop a comment and just tell me what you feel for the A tier, S tier, F tier. You can tell me if you think things like back down Punisher belong lower, if Pro Touch belongs higher, stuff like that. If Drop Stepper belongs in the top tiers as well. Let me know what your feedback is. Like I said, I'm not gonna read through the comments all that much, just because, like I said, I don't need that energy in my life. Simple as that. But speaking of simple as that, you guys know the inside joke to that. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Make sure to leave a comment in the comments, and if you made it to the end of the video, put badge again. And let me know if you want to see the shooting and playmaking from my perspective and how I feel. But honestly, I'm probably not the best person to talk about those two badges. Obviously, my experience in that doesn't exactly relate to the expertise that I have in the finishing and defending. But if you guys want me to do those, feel free to let me know. I just feel like this is my true set of like knowledge, these two videos that I've done. And for the most part, we're just going to get into the regular content again and just get back to our regular schedule. But hey, anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. like I said, if you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, and put badge in the comments if you made it all the way through. But other than that, hope y'all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.